the holy mackerel. Because getting hit by a fish has got to be humiliating. But do you know what is even more humiliating? The man who's killing you with a fish has the most kills on the server. Now, that's embarrassing. But is this even possible to do? Well, over the last 2 weeks, I've dedicated myself to this achievement. And bloody hell, it was an absolute roller coaster of a lot of dying, a lot of insane engagements, and most importantly, a lot of insane kill streaks. Let's go these crits. I'm so lucky at this crits game. You're gonna be weak. Oh my god. I'm so good at this game. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This challenge isn't too hard. All you have to do is have a pocket medic or get a lot of capture points. So that's why I'm banning capture points and the use of pocket medics for this challenge. Now, just to explain why this challenge has taken up so much of my life, I need to emphasize how little damage a scout's melee weapon actually does. One hit of a holy mackerel only does 35 damage as a non-crit. This means if I want to kill a soldier, I would have to hit him 6 times. Or if I want to kill a heavy, I'd have to hit him 9 times. But this isn't the main obstacle stopping me from top scoring. The biggest burdens of my life over the last 2 weeks has been these 2 classes designed by Satan himself to ruin as much fun as physically possible. The first being those bloody mini-sentry engineers. If I go even within a mile radius of those bloody mini-sentries, I'm pretty much screwed. The second issue, which actually ended up being even worse of an issue, are just all pyros. TF2 is known for its small condensed maps, and having to get even closer to the enemy due to my only weapon being a fish means that whenever I take an engagement, there is a high chance a pyro will just swoop in and ruin all the fun, because that's what pyros do. And we all know any casual matchmaking game is saturated with pyros. And when I mean saturated, I mean saturated. Despite all the barriers put in place by the TF2 gods to stop a man accomplishing his dreams, I did have some moments of hope. So, the initial plan was to queue up randomly to any casual matchmaking map and try and do this challenge with brute force. And at first, it actually worked. On one of my first attempts on Payload Borneo, I instantly just went on a 10 kill streak on my second life. However, this was on the last stage of Borneo because I joined the server late. So obviously I'm not top scoring if I'm joining the server late. But after the success of a 10 kill streak, I was so confident I could do this easily. And I just kept playing Borneo. I thought Borneo was the one. But as life has it, I got absolutely destroyed on every single attempt I had playing Borneo. I wasn't even close to getting a positive kill-death ratio on any of my attempts. I only seemed to thrive on the last stage of Borneo. And why is that? Why am I thriving on only the last stage of Borneo? Well, I reflected on this, and it turns out the last stage of Borneo has lots of open flanks, and it's easy for me to dodge the enemy and get behind and surprise them with the fish. This reflection helped me realise I will not be able to do this challenge through brute force. I instead will need to take a more tactical approach. To top score through only getting kills, I will need to go on several kill streaks to make up for the lack of capture points. So how on earth am I going to get these kill streaks? And the answer is to imitate one of the biggest pussies of the animal kingdom, the vulture. The vulture does not hunt its prey. The vulture waits for its prey to already be dead and then feasts on its prey. And in similar style, a fish scout must roam around the habitats, look out for prey that are on the verge of death, and then swoop in to steal the kills. But what type of habitat is a fish scout most adapted to where it could just about survive? And the answer, through a lot of trial and error, and with a little help of my little small brain, is King of the Hill maps. King of the Hill maps are very open maps. Playing an open map allows me to roam around safely while identifying any weak targets. Once a weak target is identified, I just need to get behind them and finish them off. Well, That was the plan in practice. The problem about only queuing up for the King of the Hill maps is that 99% of all King of the Hill maps in casual end up being Harvest or Sujin. And queuing up for other maps just takes way too long. Although these maps are very open like most King of the Hill maps, they're the worst of the bunch for playing the Fish Scout. Harvest seems to be almost too open. Everybody on the map seems to have an eye on you at all times, making it difficult to get behind the enemy. And 90% of all fights that happen in Sujin occur in the middle section of the map, which is extremely compact and does not have enough space for me to maneuver. I must have played about 100 rounds of Harvest without getting any success, but I did have one game of Harvest which started off very well and looked like it was going to be different compared to the other failed matches. I started off on a huge kill streak, topping my team's scoreboard by 5 points, but I was still very behind a player named Axio. This man was an opposing sniper who just finished a 12 kill streak life. But after that life, I just kept killing him with the fish, and I think it just caused him to leave, because it's just annoying getting fish killed over and over again, which really helps because he had a lot more points than me. Soon I was the top scorer on the server, but nothing is ever simple in the world of TF2. A new nemesis was creeping his way up the scoreboard, and his name was Zo64. This man was very good at Spy. We spent the rest of the map battling out for the top spot, constantly getting into crucial 1v1s that would turn the tide of the scoreboard. But he often got the better of me, and his ability to double the points from everyone he backstabs made him surge past me in points by the end of the map despite myself getting one more kill than him. This was my closest attempt so far, and it was painful to lose to a Spy. But then, a few attempts later, I ended up connecting to a game of High Pass. This map is a Fish Scout's paradise. It's super easy to get behind the enemy and escape any danger if necessary. But yet again in TF2, you always have to fight for the top spot. And my next nemesis for this game was a scout called Vulture. He was nowhere near the scoreboard at the beginning of the game. He stole a crucial round end kill from me with his pistol, resulting in me wisely keeping an eye on him by the end of round 1. We were both close to the top of the scoreboard and I had great momentum, but then tragedy hit me. My bloody D key broke on my keyboard. Which is just typical, isn't it? I tried to get the win without using the D key, but that proved to be one obstacle too much for me. Vulture managed to get the best of me, and that rare opportunity of playing High Pass ended up being wasted. I was completely dejected. I felt like this might actually be impossible. There are always a few players who can easily outscore me. But I was in too deep. I had to keep trying. I'd gotten too far to give up. And then one Saturday morning, Nucleus was getting a few votes on the map vote, but Sujin was still dominating the vote. I was praying in the voting stage of the map that people vote for Nucleus. I needed a different map than Sujin. Sujin started off the vote super well, and I was completely dejected. But then Nucleus started making a comeback, and luckily, Nucleus won the vote. Thank God. I needed to start off as fast as possible with Nucleus and get behind the enemy as quick as possible. And the first 2 targets I ran into were 2 heavies. Now, I see this heavy on the left, all revved up and shooting, so I didn't want to go near him as he'll kill me in a matter of 2 seconds. So, I stick to my Vulture ways and pray on the shotgun heavy on the right, who just took damage from the scout. I then see the other heavy unrevved and go for an aerial attack. This scout looked weak, but actually wasn't, but another lucky crit deleted that man. Then when I see the Spy, I instantly have to go for it and get another crit, but to be honest, I would have killed him without the crit. Then straight after I bump into another Spy who happened to be weak and critted him as well. I was getting insane luck with these crits. I had 4 more points than the rest of the server. Then surprisingly, my next victim was another heavy who was unaware of me lurking behind his spawn. Then I see a scout unaware of me, so I go at him from behind. After finishing, this pyro looked weak, so I went for it. I did have a little help from a medic, but I don't count that as a pocket medic, as I ran away from the medic as soon as possible after this and find a nice low health sniper to finish off as well. At this point, I'm top scoring and I have 8 kills and 0 deaths. At this point I realised I actually have a chance here. My main rivals were Polaris Fulf and Danny, who were both only 3 points behind me. After getting chased around by Pyro and teased by a fleeing scout, this demo was my next victim. This medic again tried to follow me, but luckily I could easily run away from him using the winger. But I was still bricking it because Danny was only 1 point behind me, and then as I checked the leaderboard, he went level on points with me. I needed my momentum to continue. The second life was awful. I had no kills and just got burnt alive by a Pyro. Meanwhile, Danny decided to be a menace and get himself some more capture points. Luckily, a low health scout presented himself to me to get me back and running. And luckily, I was right next to the enemy spawn when we won, so I could get another 2 free kills. But still, 4 whole points behind Danny. The next round began and I instantly beelined to the flanks to prey on snipers. But luckily, a miracle happened. Danny left the server, but a new big threat was making their way up the leaderboard while me and Danny were battling it out, and their name was HMM. This guy was a pretty good huntsman sniper, and I was only getting 2 points ahead of him despite going 16 kills and 2 deaths. So it's back to the flanks and getting behind people. I found a spy who was mid-fight, a clueless medic and a clueless soldier, who I all snuck up behind and slowly battered them to death. I was going 19 kills and 2 deaths. Pyro then killed me, which gave me a chance to look at the scoreboard. I was only 1 point away from HMM's grasp. He was beginning to hit headshot after headshot. And my team were rolling the other team, meaning there was most likely less than 2 minutes left in this final round. What made things worse was that my kills were beginning to dry up. The next life I only achieved 1 kill. So I went back to the flanks and instantly spotted a soldier, in which I pounced on from behind and killed. Luckily a sniper was nearby, which is free real estate compared to fighting other classes. Then, whilst I was trying to chase a spy, I found a Pyro busy in a fight. A perfect target. After this life I had a 6-point lead, but straight after I checked my position on the scoreboard, HMM decided to make a statement by getting a headshot while defending the point, instantly closing the gap by 3 points. And it didn't help, on my next life I only got 1 kill again. But that kill made a difference. I was 5 points ahead of HMM, and there were 10 seconds left on the red team's capture point timer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overtime. The blue team managed to capture back the control point, like they were just trying to troll me. I knew I had to focus, but my nearest enemies this life were 2 Pyros. But I had to face my fears because HMM was getting kill after kill, but luckily the first one was coated in Girati and the other one was low health. And seconds after I killed the second Pyro, the round ended and it was over. Finally! Oh my god, I was like 3 points away from second. Let's go! That's amazing. I'm actually so happy. Oh my god. That took way too long. I ended the game 3 points ahead of HMM with double the amount of kills than everyone else in the server, having done 1,000 more damage than everyone else as well. The gods were on my side that day. An unbelievable amount of things went my way to get this win. I cannot even begin to explain the relief of getting that win. This challenge took too long and was making me insane. If you stayed watching this long, be sure to comment any other ideas of cool challenges I can do. And be sure to like this video if you want to help promote the video using the YouTube algorithm. Also, follow my Twitch. Link below.